Hollywood Rock has returned, and while some people have loved this return of the People's Champion, maybe things just aren't what they seem. At least that's what some eagle-eyed viewers noticed on this latest episode of SmackDown this past Friday. But to fully understand, though, you have to kind of go back a few weeks to when The Rock came out and put a beating down on Jinder Mahal, and then he kind of hinted to his place at the head of the table. Now, this over at SEScoops.com, this kind of popped up just a little bit ago. The Rock's WWE WrestleMania 40 drama. Who made the final call to change the plans? If you have been following along with what's going on with wrestling lately, it's been quite a journey the last month or so. Since the Royal Rumble, it's been going back and forth. Who's going to face Roman Reigns? Now, it looks like what a lot of people speculated is actually more or less true. WrestleMania 40 plans changed. It says a source within WWE confirmed that The Rock initially intended to have a match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. The current scenario regarding the show was not The Rock's original preference, indicating that it was not part of the preconceived plan from the outset. He then conceded that Cody Rhodes vs. Roman Reigns should be the main event match, which is the way it should be going. The We Want Cody fans, the fans that want to see Cody complete the story, is absolutely the right call. But like I said, we have to kind of go back a few weeks to understand where The Rock is right now and where he's going to end up come WrestleMania 40. And we're going to get to that in a moment. Now, the Wrestling Observer newsletter confirmed that this report, saying that it was The Rock's decision to book a tag team match for night one of WrestleMania 40. The word conceded was even used on Dave Meltzer's report. So, there was a report that there was going to be a tag team match of Roman Reigns, The Rock, Seth, and Cody. That is still a possibility from other things that I've seen on social media. Whether that happens or not, I'm not really sure. But I think what happened this past Friday is kind of pointing to where The Rock's character is going, where everything is going for him and Roman Reigns. I don't think it's really highlighting what's going on with Seth and Cody at this point in time. It says, this goes... from the beginning, reported the plans were locked in, and only person who could change things was The Rock. That is exactly what happened, much to the delight of Cody crybabies all over who want to see the American Nightmare finish his story. Why the match was changed, Rock publicly expressed his desire for a match against Roman Reigns on January 1st, appearing during the Day 1 episode of Raw. That was the one with Jinder Mahal. Subsequently, the match was arranged shortly thereafter, despite Cody Rhodes winning the 2024 Royal Rumble match. Notably, Triple H was aware of the agreement for Rock vs. Reigns. Negative fan reaction and mainstream attention on the matter caused Rock to make a call to pivot. That being said, he will now apparently play up the heel gimmick on WWE for the Cody Crybabies. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this, because, look, The Rock is making a lot of calls now. Now that he's on the board of TKO, he's kind of around everything right now. He's making a lot of calls, but it looks like he did make the right call here. And I am one who has been very adamant about The Rock is out for The Rock. He's always out for The Rock. But I think he did make the right call here to a certain point, because if you take a look, there were a lot of people that paid attention to this week's SmackDown, this past week's SmackDown. And it appears that Rock is siding with Roman Reigns. You know, he came out totally heel Rock, Hollywood Rock, as people like to call him. And he was sitting there calling out Cody Rhodes, or appeared to be calling out Cody Rhodes and saying why he would not finish his story. But a lot of his gestures, a lot of his pauses, a lot of the words that he was using, a lot of the movements he was making during his 10-minute long promo, if you watch closely, it was all pointed towards someone else, not Cody Rhodes. It was pointed towards Roman Reigns. And it does make a lot of sense, because if you take a look at what The Rock started, and The Rock isn't dumb. The Rock isn't going to sit there and just completely abandon what he already started back on January 1st with that promo he cut after beating down Jinder Mahal. That was all planned. He wants to face Roman Reigns for the head of the table. He wanted to do it at WrestleMania. And honestly, that promo started, a month or two prior when he was on ESPN or something like that? That started way before then. But here's the thing. When everything had to get changed, they had to think. They had to, okay, how do we do this? We got to keep The Rock involved, obviously. Well, what makes sense is to have it where Cody and Rock are actually working together here. And you can already see that Seth Rollins is like, look, you need to have a shield. You need to have somebody who has your back against the bloodline. And he's already putting that into the minds of the viewers, like there needs to be somebody in place because you've tried to do it on your own before and you've failed, Cody. You've failed before because you've tried to do it on your own. You can't do it on your own. But little do we know, or so he thought, he isn't doing it on his own. He's got The Rock in his corner. And while this was a pivot, this is something that they changed the story of. It's a really smart pivot. Because now, when you get to WrestleMania, and now, because what does the bloodline do? What does Roman and his lackeys do? They always interfere and allow Roman to win and come out the victor. The Rock won't allow it. The Rock is going to interfere and stop Solo, stop Jimmy from interfering. Cody's going to come out victorious because of this. And there will be the rift. There will be the beginning of the feud with The Rock and Roman. Does it lead to SummerSlam? Does it lead to WrestleMania 41 next year? Who knows where it goes? Who knows where it ends? Or how it ends? But that feud for Roman and Rock that everybody and so many people want to see, it's coming. It was really smart. Look, like I said, I weeks ago, I thought it was a terrible idea the way that everything was handled. And it was. They handled it poorly. The way everything happened and played out was done poorly. But the pivot that they've made to this point, I have to say they've done very well. They've done very well to this point. We have to see how it's executed now. The execution is very key. If it's executed poorly, but we have to see how it's executed. But let me know, what do you think? Do you believe that the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, do you believe he's going to come out victorious at Mania? Do you think The Rock is actually working with Cody and is his inside man to the bloodline? Is he his inside man that he's working with? Does he need Seth Rollins to be his shield? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe, and hey, maybe I'll do some more wrestling talk. I know my son really wants to do a wrestling podcast, so maybe I'll do one with him. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. With all that, I'll catch you all later.